it's a different way. And so I don't think it's.
And well, no, I was going to say, and these, first of all, we've had Fran Drescher on this podcast twice, guys. Go listen to you. Yeah, I've had Fran Drescher on. I've had the president, excuse me, I had the prior president of SAG-AFTRA, Miss Gabrielle Carteris, 90210. So listen to Gabrielle's. We talked about SAG. We talked about it with Fran. I congratulated Miss Drescher when she got the position. Yeah, yes, and yes. I mean, here's the difference before we move on. Actors, like, it's a craft. They love what they do. You want money and you want fame, but the 1%, the Julia Robertses of the world, get that. Everyone else is just a working stiff. You run into them at the bar and, at Craig's when you and I go for the Caesar salad and the meatballs. So they have, I don't want to insult people this morning, guys. I'm hungover, but they have integrity. It's about the work. And of course they want fame and money, but they were working. These reality stars, there's no craft. It's money and it's fame. There's no integrity. So everything you're saying about unionizing and fighting for the next generation, try to explain that to Tamrat. She's a little rat scurrying around. Try to explain that to her. Try to explain that to Emily Simpson, who just wants to be on the TV so bad and has been given this beautiful opportunity of a lifetime, which I don't want to see your minivan. I say it all the time, girl. Try to explain that. I don't think they care. I think you're knocking, girl, but there's nobody home. They want the check to clear, and they don't think that way.
One final question. What did you think of Nene Leakes' response to Bethenny's video, where Nene basically just said, y'all are hitting me up. You want me to respond to Nene's call to unionize. And basically it was a non-answer. It was an answer in that she says Bethenny is going to be taken much more seriously than I am, and essentially alluding to the fact that Bethenny is white, Nene is black. And best of luck to Bethenny, really. And that Nene said, I've been saying these things and shedding light and trying to tell you guys for years, but nobody, people think of me as full of shit, doubt me because I'm a black woman. And here is Bethenny. So good luck. Maybe she can resonate. What did you think about that response?
Man, you are going deep this morning. You're giving a shout out to the Obamas. I mean, this is a political show here. We're going to get into race relations.
Get a look at that documentary is so good.
I'm gonna pass on that documentary, but I appreciate your political stance this morning. I'm gonna take a pass, but I wish everyone
American Factory. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to bed afterwards with my hangover. But Nene has been saying she has a point. She's been saying for a long time, that like you're using my likeliness, and but what's the difference between what we do? I mean, look, I have such mixed feelings about all of this. You sign the contract, you don't have to sign it. Do I think the big bad corporation? I mean, you read that thing with SAG-AFTRA where they're like, whoever said it, the studio head or some anonymous person is like, they're gonna lose their houses. They're not gonna pay rent. They're not gonna pay their mortgages. They're gonna be out on the streets. We're gonna keep going until you can't afford your life. So look, I think the bigger issue is people are saying, so I think Nene has a point. Let me just answer that question. I think, I don't know. Are people taking Bethenny more seriously than Nene? Probably. Is that because of race? I don't know. It's the time. The problem I have with Bethenny too is she does make it all about herself. She's talking and then she's like, let me explain to you about the Bethenny clause. Now, granted, there was an interview where she was asked about it, but it's like, and she slips in those things of like, listen, this isn't for me. I have more money than all these reality stars put together. Like I sold the company. It's rumored 120 million. Girl, I'm fine. I've invested that in Bryn. It's fine. And like, we are fine. I have her meson. So like, don't worry about me. This isn't for me because I'm like so fucking rich. I just had Jill on the podcast. That was, so I like what she's doing, but girl, just it's not about you,
No, I agreed with Nene on the video. I think, and I'm not saying that Nene didn't have a case. What I'm saying about this is, I think what hurt Nene is she didn't get a victory in her, I think if Nene had won that, because it's been, I believe, what was it, dismissed, the racist lawsuit against Bravo.
It's over.
But it's not final because there's one other piece that they have yet to settle. So hopefully she wins that. I think that would bring her a lot of credibility. I think that's the downside, right? Is like we never really knew the inner workings because it never went to trial of what the degree of abuse was, right? Or toxic workplace. We know these alleged racist allegations. Now, some of them were against, like Kim Zolciak, they were against not Bravo executives, but these other individuals, right?
And she's good with Kim.
Yeah, but she used that in the lawsuit, basically saying they allowed Kim to make racist comments about her and never stopped it. So it's like, I think that's where people are conflicted, right? About Nene's point. And don't you? I mean, I think that's kind of the hard part. I'm not saying it didn't happen and it's not true. And then you had somebody like Kandi come forward and say, Kandi basically said Nene's full of shit. She never witnessed any racism with Bravo. And in fact, Kandi alleges that Nene was racist towards Kandi. So I think that hurt Nene's credibility because if she had won, I think that would be a real feather in her cap to say, look, I told you guys, and this was true. And here, don't you think?
And the thing is, though, she'll never win unless this goes to trial. I mean, whatever went away, if money was exchanged, whatever it was, there will never be a document signed that says, we admit that we were racist and here's your, that will never happen. So my thoughts are the little piece that's lingering or whatever. I mean, I don't know if she got money. It's just, if Nene wants that victory of like Bravo has engaged in racist tactics, she will literally have to go walk into the courtroom. So someone's either doing that for free or she needs $500,000 to put out to a lawyer there will never be a settlement with Bravo where a document is signed that says, shh, we're not releasing the statements to the public and we admit that we did this, or that part's never happening. It will literally never happen. It will bring down the whole NBC Universal. So that's the part they will fight to the end. So I don't know how this went away, or I imagine Nene ran out of money. I've said before, I think the whole thing, I'm not a fan of her lawsuit. That's me. Everyone claims racism. Go ahead. Y'all hate me. We're all wrong, but I don't care. Can I just say one more thing?
Please. This is fascinating to me.
People are saying like, oh, this is Bethenny's like really drawing the line with Bravo and Andy. She's coming after them, but she didn't sue them. So I do still think, just because we're on Nene is on the do not use list. Carol Raswell, because there's so much there, is on the do not use list. I still think